Hello everybody, this is Matt from the LIbreQuest podcast. This is going to be part one of my January 2001 Linux gaming box build. And I'm going to start out with the operating system. This is Mandrake Linux version 7.2. This is actually my first distribution that I ever installed. And it is a heavily proprietary distribution. It's not featuring just free software, but it does feature quite a few commercial products as well. On the back listed, we have Sun, Star Office, Inform IT. We've also got some other ones that are on here. Real Player 7. So it shipped with quite a few things, and it even included VMware so that you could virtualize Windows, or I think Basilisk 2 is what you would want to use if you were going to virtualize Macintosh 7 or OS 9 at that time. But so that's the one that I'm going to be starting with, is just the base operating system, and hopefully you'll tune in for the entire series because I'm pretty excited about this build that I was able to do. It was a lot of work, but I think it paid off quite well, and I think you'll want to see it. It's pretty awesome. Alright, so this is the box that the operating system shipped in. This was distributed by Macmillan Software, and it was available all over the place. I actually picked up my first copy at a Walmart, my local Walmart, but let's take a look inside of it and see what's in here. So I was speaking to someone recently about this distribution, and they had asked how many discs came with it, and I said 5 because it was actually 4 discs, and it was the 4th disc here. It's the second application disc. This actually included your VMware and a few other proprietary tools that you could use on the Mandrake desktop. But it came with 4 discs, 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and inside, oh my goodness, I actually have 2 copies of this, and the other one is still sealed. And this is all upside down. Let's turn this around. So we've got our Linux Mandrake operating system complete. This is just some product registration, thank you, some technical support information. We also had welcome to the Revolution Linux magazine, where you could subscribe to the Linux magazine. So that's cool. This is the boot disk, and yes, it still works. Actually used that. And what is this one? End user license agreement. Okay. So we've also got the README First Linux Mandrake 7.2 operating system. Be sure to read through the Getting Started manual before installing any of the enclosed software. So that's pretty cool. GPL and other end user licenses. It says much of the software included in this package is distributed in accordance with the GNU General Public License. So it's just some license information there. You've got a Getting Started manual, which includes some really cool black and white screen captures here of the installation process, disk partitioning. We've got application selection, installation, setting up your locale and your networking, setting up your users, testing your display, selecting what desktop environment you want to use. And then the conclusion. So that was very handy if you were new and never installed any Linux distribution or anything like that. You would definitely need to have the Getting Started manual, and then of course the installation and user guide. Now this is full of information, everything from your directory structure to different programs, SCSI installation, all kinds of stuff are outlined here. And of course you get some of this stuff that covers all the things that are covered in the installation guide as well. You've even got how to set up your fonts and that sort of thing here. So very handy information that they distributed with this. This is just so awesome that they were able to distribute a box copy with all of this really awesome documentation to really help people get started. And I know there's a lot of people that started with 7.2 just like me. So along with wanting to install an operating system, a Linux operating system, Mandrake 7.2, with this Linux box build from focused really January 2001 and earlier, I of course wanted to have some games. So this is Soldier of Fortune, ported by Loki. I've been calling him Loki for so long, I was recently corrected, but Loki Games. And this is just an epic game. I really enjoy it. Honestly, I wish I had played it earlier. I'm gonna have to cut that part out. I showed my key. I showed my license key. But a lot of these games you can still find brand new in the box on services like eBay, sometimes on Amazon. But these are all really great titles. Heavy Gear 2, of course, Myth 2, Soldier of Fortune is a little harder to find, and Quake 3 can be a little hard to find as well. But these are really, really great games, and you know, these are just 4 of them here that I've actually installed on the system. I've actually got the entire collection of Loki games installed on that system. But I'm just featuring some of the boxes here so you can take a look at them. They're pretty cool. Okay, so that is part 1 of the software, some of the software, and the operating system, most importantly, that I am using on the machine on the Linux box build. So it's like I said, January 2001. What you could have expected, and I'm basically working on a budget of about $2,500 would be the budget that it would take to put together the system that I put together. But I'm also going to be covering the components that are installed, some of the issues that I had working with it, and a lot of them were actually issues that were fixed, but maybe 4 to 5 months after this release. So I could have upgraded the kernel. But I decided not to. I thought, you know what, it's a kernel 2.2.17, and I thought, you know, I'm gonna work with this kernel, see what hardware out there I can get to work, what supported well and well enough to game, and you know, just really getting an idea of what it would be like to get some high-powered hardware. Back then, it's a socket 423, 1.8 gigahertz, and it's got 512 of RAM bus on there. So, but I'll be covering really in-depth the hardware on it and just kind of going over it. It's been a really fun experiment, and it's actually part of a gaming land now, and so it can game with other hardware. And some hardware is older, some hardware is newer, but yeah, it's pretty cool. So stay tuned, and I will post a new video about it here pretty soon. Thanks.